This news update is brought to you by...
Don't you deserve a little me time? Play catch up and binge watch full seasons of your favorite TV shows. Available on video on demand from Flow. Simply press the VOD button on your Flow remote. This is how we do TV. This is how we flow.
It's Thursday, January the 7th, 2016, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. And Emmanuel Joseph, thanks for joining us. In our top story, Pomp and Grandeur punctuated the official launch last evening of this country's 50th independence anniversary of celebrations. The year-long celebration started in splendor with a parade of uniformed groups and students who lined the streets of Bridgetown. Our own Fernella Wedderburn reports.
Scores of Barbadians lined the streets this evening to get a first-hand look of the parade of uniformed groups as they made their way up Broad Street through the Charles Duncan O'Neill Bridge onwards to Independence Square. They took every vantage point along the boardwalk as well to see the HMBS Excellence accompany the Broken Trident, as well as the oldest fisherman Fred Watson and the oldest seafarer Albert Brooms. They motored into the careenage around 5:40 p.m. through the Chamberlain Bridge. The Trident was then transferred to the younger generation of Sea Scouts and Sea Cadets, who handed it over to Prime Minister Frundle Stewart. It was then passed on to the St. George Parish ambassadors, who then placed it at the base of the statue of the Father of Independence, the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow. The national anthem soon followed, rendered by the St. Leonard's Boys Choir and prayer by the Bishop of Barbados. In his address, Prime Minister Frundle Stewart told citizens that they should be proud of the great country that Barbados had become.
We don't claim to be better than anybody else, but we claim to be as good as the best in the world. The Barbados of 2016 is fundamentally different from the Barbados of 1966. You only have to look at the quality of our housing, the quality of our architecture, the great advances which we have made as a nation. Contrast that with the spectacle in the 1960s of men and women being able to work only by chance.
Reporting for Barbados Today, I'm Fernella Wedderburn.
Meanwhile, Barbadians who attended the parade have been expressing their views on the 50th independence anniversary celebrations.
I think Barbados has developed and has developed with a generation gap. That is what I'm worried about. That there's a wide division between the youth of this country and the older people of this country. And I think this has come because a lot of things that should have been passed on was not passed on. And there is a separation of knowledge that should be passed on to the young people so that they'll be well aware that what they're getting now was fought for and what they're benefiting now was sacrifice.
We Barbadians acknowledge and appreciate and be welcome in what the former Prime Minister, Mr. Walton Barrow, done for Barbados. Thank you. And I hope that we will acknowledge it and live up to it.
They say we're in a crisis, right? And I don't think this is the appropriate time for this to be happening as a Barbadian, when so many people out there are suffering.
Right now I am proud to be Bajan, I should say. I'm glad that I am alive, so like I said before, also that I have good memory that I can remember what's transpired here. I expect Barbados to do great more things.
The voices of the people on the 50th anniversary of independence celebrations. In other news now, relations between the Ministry of Education and the Barbados Union of Teachers appear to be on the mend. The union has won a concession from the ministry, which has agreed to reinstate the quarterly meetings after ignoring such requests from the union for the last 3 years. BDU President Pedro Shepherd also told Barbados Today that the correspondence from the union no longer goes unanswered, and the ministry even sends letters of acknowledgement to the correspondence. While no day has yet been set for the resumption of quarterly meetings, Shepherd noted that a number of concerns had arisen over the last 3 years, which the union wanted to discuss, including study leave.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Turning now to news from the region, officers of the police force in St. Lucia will be seeking training from the Barbados-based regional security system in the use of less deadly weapons when summoned to scenes to deal with mental patients. Acting Commissioner of Police Errol Alexander says this was required to reduce the number of deaths when detaining a mentally unsound person under new policing guidelines.
We are going for accreditation with the help of the RSS, and accreditation is reform. And going for the accreditation, the mentally ill and dealing with the mentally ill and the guidelines are a high priority in terms of they helping us to put things together. Because, again, it would be good for us knowing that we have no fatalities involving mentally ill persons on a yearly basis.
In more regional news, Guyana's Police Commissioner Silal Prasad and former Home Affairs Minister Clement Rohi are fighting a battle of words in public over promotions in the police force. Rohi has not taken kindly to comments by the top cop who has accused him of demoralizing the force. It was Rohi who called for the Police Service Commission to put on hold the annual year-end promotions, sparking a strong response from the police chief.
I'm fortunate that it comes at a time when promotion is thing, and then the former minister is also saying that the promotion should delay. That only impacts negatively against the police force. And the Service Commission played right into his hand. But it was under the same minister's stewardship that we were there, and the same thing he's doing now.
However, the former minister described the police commissioner's comments as overtly political.
I saw that, and I thought that the commissioner was being very political in that statement. The Commissioner of Police is expected to be a professional, non-political person, but reading that statement, he became overtly political, which I believe, which I never saw happen recently. Within the recent past, I've never seen Henry Green or Brummel make statements of that type. In fact, I think he took a dig at Commissioner Brummel as well, if I'm correct. But that notwithstanding, I believe that that's an overtly political statement.
On the international scene, the United States has cast doubt on North Korea's claim that it successfully carried out its first ever hydrogen bomb test. White House spokesman Josh Earnest says the evidence so far did not add up.
The initial analysis that's been conducted of the events that were reported overnight is not consistent with North Korean claims of a successful hydrogen bomb test. There's nothing that's occurred in the last 24 hours that has caused the United States government to change our assessment of North Korea's technical and military capabilities.
Still, the detonation at an underground facility is the fourth by North Korea since 2006, all in gross violation of international law and prior nuclear agreements with the West. Most nuclear analysts share the administration's doubt that North Korea has developed an H-bomb. However, some are concerned that Pyongyang appears to be making worrisome progress in its nuclear program, including the possibility of advancements in building a device small enough to deploy on a missile.
And on that note, we end our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Flow TV and to Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. And Emmanuel Joseph, have a fantastic day.